This is Chazz Says Anything, episode 60. I have cake on. I will survive. Anyway, everybody survives, especially us Yankee fans who are a little down. This was the worst thing that I could think of for entering episode 60. I'm sorry if you want to see a title for episode 60. I could not think one because there was so much going on. Went to New York, Yankees going downhill, Giants 3/4 of the way playing well, and then as I thought, screwing it up. So there's no real title. So it's episode 60. You've hit 60 episodes. That's a great thing. So, like I said, I say every time in the beginning, if you like what you see or hear, click the subscribe right-hand corner. I know I'm getting more views. I see people on and people liking it. I'm doing as much marketing as I can. I'm telling as many people as I can. This is what I do. This is how I speak. This is what I say. Excuse me. And as per request to start today, I'm drinking, my C4. All right, I got a comment already. Let's see who's commenting. What did I say, Chaz? Yankees got their hands full, crossing fingers. Yeah, we'll see about that, dude. I'm not liking their chances. So let's talk about that. Dodgers take a 3-0 World Series lead over the listless Yankees. No, I did not write that. I Game 1 is an instant classic. Game 2 was a nail biter up. Game 3 was just pure dominance. It was. That was from CBS Sports. So my take. Before my take, I'll say this too. In front of a buzzing Yankees stadium crowd, ready to go yesterday. It was the buzz all day yesterday. I mean, seriously, the fact that they came home, Game 3 down 2-0, and played like that was a very disgusting display of how to play professionally. And I saw the beginning. Mark Schmidt, I don't know if this was his nerves. I don't know if this was, it was his first time playing in the World Series, let alone playoffs and everything else. You can't throw 4 straight balls to Shohei Ohtani. You can't do it. There's nobody on base. You have to throw to him. And by putting him on, you get Betza luckily out. But then I had me 1 or 2 pitches in. Boom, Freddie Freeman. 2-run home run. Deflated everybody. People who were watching TV, people who were there. I know fans who are living in Florida that instantly were going on social media. Oh my God, what the hell? That's how bad this was. I shut it off. I was going between back and forth with the Giants. And honestly, last night was just a bad night. Flat out bad night. Sports-wise, everything-wise, it was just bad. But I expected the Giants to lose. I just didn't expect maybe I did expect the ineptitude at the end of the game that they showed that they were doing very well. It was a very strange thing. The Giants were, and I'll get to it. The Giants were just in it like 3/4 of the game. But and thanks to Tampa, and he'll probably be watching soon if he's probably getting off of work. Tampa and we talked at work. He told me everything that he watched it, and I'm like, I'm not surprised. The fact that all this crap went down in the 4th quarter. So, all right. So, my take on these 3 games. Like I said, third game was bad. Third game was absolutely bad. First 2, Cole pitched took us off. The issue was, in my opinion, and I know other people have said it than myself, Cole should have used him till he starts to look like he's done. He didn't look like he was done, and I keep hearing that he was spent. He hit his wall. After having all those days off, he hit his wall. Come on. And then he goes on some podium today It says if he needs to be used to. We know you're not being used. Stop playing with us. You're pitching tomorrow if you get to game 5. Because we need you to get to game 5 so we can get to game 6. 4 comments. You got something to say, start today? Yes. I got a title episode. Judge swings at air. Nah. I had no title, but nah. C4, yes, of course. What do you think Yankees game plan should be if you were the skipper? Yeah, I need big hugs. Dude, I have no idea. So let me go back to what you said. I kind of like that question. Hold on. What do you think the Yankees game plan if I was the skipper? First off, I wouldn't have switched Chazz into the 4 spot. Chazz 4, Giancarlo, Stanton 5. Bad idea. In my mind. I'd put Chazz first. He's your best runner. He gets on. You have Glaber next. You have Soto third, Judge 4th, Stanton 5th. Hell, you can even go Stanton 4 and Judge 5. I would do that. Judge hasn't showed that he can be a 3. He just hasn't. I mean, and there's no analytic person that can tell me that Judge is a 3. Let's stop being stupid. Analytics team, seriously, stop being stupid. I didn't want to rant this early. I really didn't, but it is what it is. So that's number 1 I'd do. And even before, my game plan also would have been to say to Cole, do you think you can go 147? Like, that would have been a conversation. Maybe it was, we don't know. It's not something we know. We're not privy to. But that would be my conversation with Cole if I was Aaron Boone. Can you go 147? If I do give you 5 innings, 5 innings, 5 innings, or 6 innings, 6 innings, 6 innings, can you do 147? That's what I would ask. Because then I can implement other people 2, 3, 5, 6. That's not hard. This has been going on since the World Series time. When it was 7 games. I think it was 9 before that at one point. I do remember that because 1919, when they talk about the Black Sox, I think it was 9 games, not 7. So this has been going on. If I remember correctly, whoever it was for the Red Sox in '86 went 147. And it wasn't Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens was new. Roger Clemens pitched game 6 in that World Series. Thought he won that game and didn't have to pitch game 7, which would have been, I think it was the starter was Oil Can Boyd, if I remember correctly. That's what I'd do. I'd stay away from Nestor. Nestor needs a little time off. He might be done. Our closer, Holmes, he's another one, not touchable. You got to have Leiter for 2 innings. You got to have anybody else for 2 innings. Like, you had 6 days off, Yankees. 6 days off. I don't understand this lull. I don't understand this lack of running. And you can't blame Stanton. I heard about this last night. Stanton ran from second to home and got thrown out easily. I blame the third base coach because he's the one seeing that. If you see him, then that's on Stanton. But I don't know that. I didn't watch any video. Stanton, who has no speed whatsoever, he's a base-to-base kind of guy. We all know that. Us fans know that. You can't tell me whoever hit was behind him who hit. I think it might have been Verdugo, like for Chazz. It could have been on second, and then another base hit, if it will be, could have actually hit both of them in to tie that game. Unfortunately, that was not the case. I do truly feel I could be a better manager, but that's just me. Who am I? Whatever. Anyway, now that I've did as much as I've pontificated on this, hopefully it's 8:10. They just started. Hopefully, the two people who are watching will enjoy me more than the Yankee game that is possibly going to go downhill from the get go. Because Luis Hill is pitching, and he's a lefty, and we know Freddie Freeman hits lefties and righties. He's going for 6 home runs in 6 games. I'm sure I'll get the update. I already saw MLB pop up already once. Maybe if you guys are watching that while you're watching me, I think you'd make a better manager. I appreciate that. I'll put that up because I want people to see that. Why is it not going up? There we go. Yes. Start today thinks I'm going to be a better manager. Start today. You will be my agent. You're going to get different jobs that I need. And as long as when I know who you are and we're communicating back and forth on a daily basis and you're my agent, then that might actually come to fruition. Okay, before I get to anything else, I wanted to talk about this, and it's been bugging me for the last week. Why isn't there women's professional softball? Now, I want to Google professional women's softball. Let's see what happens as I haven't done this before. I'll also do it live. Professional women's softball. Is there a league? Women's professional fast pitch. Here, there's a Wikipedia. Now, to my knowledge, I've never heard of this. Like I said, this just came up. I was thinking of like WNBA, and there's women's hockey. There's women's football somewhat. There is the league, lingerie league. It was a lingerie league. I don't know if there still is. Football. I'm seeing another thing. AU Pro Softball, women's professional softball. If they're, and it says September 5th, 2024, so it seems like it's starting up. If there's professional women's softball, you can't tell me that the ESPN, Fox Sports, CBS Sports can't pick this up. I like watching cornhole. Okay, it's a fun thing to watch. I'd love to get better at it. But this is something we need to start to elevate more. Like the WNBA was so big this year because of Caitlin Clark. That's awesome. That's great. We need to pump this up. The AU Pro Softball started operating September 5th, 2024. The Athletes Unlimited Softball League, AUSL, is a professional women's softball league operating in traditional format. In its inaugural year, the league will feature 4 teams. You couldn't do 8. You couldn't do 12. There's a lot of women who can play softball that are coming out of college. They have the college softball tour. They've been having it for years. Oklahoma could probably field a team. I don't understand. And maybe this is just my naivety a little bit that why this is. I'm seeing 797,000 views, 628,000 views. These are YouTube videos, but they're of Florida, PBG, Rec, softball, and Alabama. There needs to be more softball. I'm putting it out there. I'm hoping that this WPF does come, women's professional fast pitch. That was 2021. So I'm going to keep my eye on these two. Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball and National Pro Fast Pitch. That needs to come to fruition. I would love to see some of these on television. It'd be a nice go-to. As I love baseball, I do. WNBA is hard for me to get behind, but I know what the reason why it's so big, and I'll back it. But like I said, it's just hard for me to promote when it's I'm barely behind NBA except for basketball, So I'm going to be talking about this a little bit more down the road. So now that I see it, I'm going to have to heart this or star this, favorite this. Yes, professional women's softball. Yes. Okay, there we go. That will be talked about. We got comments. Hey, Bucking Blue is here. Popping in to say hi. Love softball and volleyball. Yeah, well, you know what? With the volleyball, I don't know if you can get a professional league. I mean, there might be already. I know my buddy from way back when in UPS, Wayne Gant, was trying to do something with volleyball. So I don't know if that's a legit thing. I'll maybe do. All right. So let's get back to my banners. Okay. Ricardo, I told you I'm doing my podcast, dude. Oh my god. Anyway, I tell him and he still texts me. I'll talk to him tomorrow. So, my confidence pool, week 9 winners. You see my name. I pat myself on the back. I did it again. 2 losses. 2 actual losses. I lost. What did I lose? Everybody lost. Baltimore. Like everybody on this earth, not in Cleveland, we lost it. And I picked against Philly. Oh, poor! I got ripped for that one, picking against Philly. So if I don't pick against Philly, I'd have more than 238 points. I would have destroyed. But I 20 points. That's a lot. I did really well, and I told people my secret. A couple people. And since I told a couple people, I'll tell you how I did it. So if anybody who's on my who's in my pool, watches this, this is what I did, and this is what I did last week. Very simple. I do it on Tuesday, usually early in there. The first numbers come up for the fantasy. I don't know why Ricardo keeps texting me. This is, whatever. So he's throwing me off. I told him about this. Anyway, okay. So now I'm talking about how I did it. So I use the favorites for the week. Okay, I look at that. I look at who won last week, and that's it. It's a gut feeling of who I pick. It really is. I pick it, but that's really it's. I can't share the gut because I don't know how to describe what a gut feeling that I'm having. Okay, it's my knowledge from 25 plus years of watching football. That's all this is. I'm getting lucky this year. 2024, I'm getting lucky picking picks, go figure. Up, which is great. I love that fact that I'm moving from the middle of the pack to closer to the top. Second place, Jeff Blumenthal. I will pay you as soon as I'm done with this pool. It's been crazy all day. I did take a nap because if I don't get my voice right, there's no way I'm doing this podcast. So Jeff, congratulations. I'll get you your second place money as soon as this is done. Season leaders, I have in my hands. First place still is Larry Blumenthal, LL Cool J as he's called, 1,412 points. DD43, Khadijah is in second, 1386. Riamos, Mike Wojak is in third, and he's got 1360. And Michael Tice in fourth place. So those are the top 4 right now as we speak. The next couple down the road, Fuentes is 117. That's Andrew. He's at 1346, tied with Boob Lover, Angelo Quinn. P. Dilly Patrick is in 7th, 1330. Kiki Moon, Paul, who is on vacation. Hopefully he comes back today or tomorrow. He's got 1322. Deuces, who just got second place. Jeff Blumenthal, 1310. And KK, who is Kelvin, who I've been trying to contact. Kelvin, if you watch this, I have been trying to contact you. You've yet to text me back. I need you to text me back. I'm not going to say why here. You just need to text me back. Anyway. So that's that. 2 comments. Who's Ricardo? He's start today. Okay. Yeah, tea and honey. I'm not drinking. I'll drink the C4. I'll be fine. Sleep and C4 will be fine. I'm good with that. Anyway, who's my bowling partner, who is a Mets fan, who is watching my Yankees play right now, and thinks I'm watching it when even though I told him I'm doing my podcast. He's my bowling partner. I've bowled with him actually at least the last 7 of 8 years because COVID. He did not bowl 1 year. So I've known Ricardo a long time. I know his wife Jo is lovely. But he's just what upstart did they do birthdays? No, that's at the end, bro. Bucking Blue. That's at the end. Hold on a second. I have to text him. Hold on. I am doing my podcast. Please stop texting. Ricardo, you're getting the beat down on this one, aren't you? On my podcast. I can write texting. Until what time do you guys think I'll end? Like 9:30? I think 9:30 or 9:45. I didn't even say podcast. I forgot to say it. Let's see if he understands that. Hey, Laura's here. Look at that. I'm turning the Yankees off. That's not good, Laura. You're turning the Yankees off. Well, I appreciate Laura coming on. I get told Bucking Blues, the birthdays are not on yet. They will be on soon enough. Excuse me. I have a tissue issue. Wow. Oh, excuse me. So, yes. So, that is Ricardo. Oh, no. Instagram. Okay. Let's get back to the program. Because it starts today. You know how I love staying on the program. Okay. My pick 6 from last week. Wasn't as bad as I thought. It actually could be better and should be better, but I left it as is as I picked it. Because I switched my host before the game, and I'll tell you why. I had the Giants losing to Pittsburgh, right on point, except they actually scored more than I thought. They scored 18. So got that win. The Jets losing to New England. Now, this is funny. In my pool, there's 34 players. The only one who actually picked New England to win. There was another one. It was the favorite because everybody else thought Aaron Rodgers was actually going to do something, and I had a funny feeling he just wasn't going to do enough. Their quarterback, he just did just enough. The kicker did just enough, and apparently their kicker cannot kick. So that was a bigger issue, which none of us saw, and that ended up being a win for me. Now this was a win for me on Pool Host. It's a loss for me here because I picked it here. I did not think that Puka, and I'm forgetting the other guy. It's hit or miss with the other guy, the other wide receiver, came back, and the tight end for Minnesota was said to be out that day. That meant bingo for my light lit up on my head. I got 15 minutes. I need to switch this pick. So I switched the pick. I thought the Rams would win with that, and Puka was amazing that night, and I got that win on Pool Host. So I lost it here, though. I'm trying to be legit on here, so I'm doing that. Next 3. Again, what I said, I picked Cincinnati to win, and it basically reversed what I said. That's what Philly did. Okay, I'm wrong. I thought Joe Burrow would show up. I think everybody from Cincinnati also thought Joe Burrow would show up. Completely wrong. Detroit over Tennessee. I knew Tennessee wasn't great. I did not suspect Detroit would just go nuts. It went absolutely nuts. And then lastly, Dallas in San Francisco. I had San Francisco. It was a tight game. Dallas, they're going to be in it the entire game every week. But like the Giants, just like the Giants. And maybe the Jets. They're not going to be able to finish these games. They're just not. Yeah, we got a lot of people commenting. I bet you everybody's talking to Laura. Let's see. Laura, fellow Mets fan. Laura, congrats. Start today. That's my wife. Was in the Hall of Fame, not Laura. Start today. Do you watch my podcast Start Today? Seriously, do you really watch? Yeah, no, not even wrong, Laura. Wrong woman. Yeah, you meant Beth. Yes. Jesus. Uh. Okay. See, I'm gonna have to tell Beth to watch. Where are we at? 5 minutes 49 seconds. Laura Stepnowski has just venerated Beth. Beth is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. She's getting there. If we're talking about bowling, she's getting there. I'll leave it at that. Okay. So I think we've talked about everything. Yes. See, so I went 4-2 this week, 28 and 20, 58%. I could be doing better, but it is what it is. All right. So let's go back to. I got to get to the scores. Week 8. Okay. Really not going to give me the scores? Okay, it's there we go. No. Scores with spreads? No, I don't want score. Oh, there we go. Okay. So what games have I not talked about? Right? Well, talked about that game, Minnesota, Cleveland. Okay. I didn't see the game. I saw the end of the game. Amazing game at end of the game. That could have flipped and helped a lot of people. It didn't. But Cleveland, Jameis Winston, amazing. We're going to have to watch Cleveland now with Jameis Winston. Absolutely going to have to watch Jameis Winston. Detroit, like I said, Tennessee. Houston barely beats Indianapolis. Now, Indianapolis, I didn't write it here, but they've now switched their quarterback. And for everybody to know about this now, Indianapolis might be a player again. You know who their quarterback is now? Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco was last year's comeback player of the year. He just might be again if he can turn Indianapolis around. We gotta have to watch Indianapolis. So Houston barely beat him. So Houston, they're struggling. They got a good quarterback and a good team down there. I'm a little surprised. Green Bay beat Jacksonville, but not by the spread. That was a close game. Miami edged out by Arizona. Tua is back, but Tua is not Tua. 6, 7 comments. Well, we're just going nuts here, guys. Okay. I am leading off on Arizona and Miami. Let's see what we're all talking about here since I can't see it. Who's Beth? Beth is my wife, Bucking Blue. And what about Hall of Fame? Dude, Bucking Blue, I'm going to tell you right now. Go to last week's or the week before. I talk about it then. Okay? Everything I'm not going to go back and talk about her Hall of Fame. Bowling Hall of Fame. You got to see it then. Okay? I'm going to hide in the comments, Bucking Blue, when Chazz sees your comments. Just so you know, I don't right away because I have banners. Okay? Maybe this is an update I need to say in my 60th episode. I have banners where I work off of that I talk about. I don't see your comments. You all see the comments. Are we getting any storms? Okay. It's fall. If we're getting storms, it's we haven't got rain in a month. Okay, guy? Okay, come on. Maybe a small chance of rain. Yeah, Friday, possibly. Exactly. Yes, watching out, but Chazz will get. Well, see, like you start today, I don't know who Bucking Blue is. Now, I'm assuming Bucky Blue will tell me who he is at some point. So you start today are being very Laura, you can tell me what the word is that start today is being. Oh yeah, why would Laura? Why would you be scared? He's talking about Bucking Blue. He's not talking about you. So I'm just reading Laura's comment, and yeah. Okay. Let me get back to this. Rest of the week in the NFL. So New England, like I talked about, they beat the Jets by 3 in New England. Good for them. Tampa Bay lost to Atlanta. Start today. Your game was good. Your team was good. Good for you. That they showed up finally. Like you know, I've been waiting for Atlanta to show up. They finally did something against a division rival, which they needed to do. Philadelphia, I talked about how they destroyed Cincinnati. The Chargers took out the Saints. Like this, they were a 7.5 favorite and just took them out. Kind of big surprise there. Buffalo goes to Seattle and just must have taken the 12th man. He scored 10 points. Absolutely amazing what Buffalo did. And I got Josh Allen in one of my other football pools and fantasy football pools, and he did pretty well. Washington beating Chicago. So, do I have something about that? Hold on a second. I actually don't. I thought I don't actually. Oh no, I do. Let me go back to Washington. Denver beats Carolina by 2 touchdowns. Kansas City here. Okay, let's talk about Kansas City real quick with the Chiefs. Know this about the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to be in every game, and more than likely they're going to win every game. But they're not going to be winning that much. Their defense, for whatever reason, cannot keep them from shutting people out. I don't know what's wrong with Kansas City's defense. They got one of the best defensive coordinators in Steve, and I can't remember his last name. It used to be the Giants coordinator. The defense, for whatever reason, can't figure it out, and I don't know why. And I think that's the last one. And I'll skip what I was going to talk about so I could talk about this real quick. So Washington was losing. Like the last 10 minutes of this game was amazing. It was a battle of number 1 versus number 2 in the draft. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Caleb Williams, and it was just an amazing game. So if you don't know about the Hail Mary, and I'll get before this, so it's the last second, it's like nothing on the clock. Jaden Daniels runs around. It goes from the left side to the right side, gets it, and just heaves 5 yards. Now, what we see live was the scrum go to that one area where the ball's coming down. You see a guy jump, tap the ball, but tap it the wrong way. He went to grab it and it tapped and it went backwards, right into the hands of Noah Brown. So the tapper was Tyson. He was mocking Commander fans during the Hail Mary that Jaden Daniels threw. Like, there's video popped up, let's say, an hour later, after this whole game was over. The guy just got stupid, and then he coincidentally tips the ball into Noah's hand for the best catch of probably this season. All right, 5-6 We're just moving along, aren't we? Start today is sus. That he is. Now that I know what that is, yes, that Hail Mary was insane. Yes, it was. I literally screamed. Okay. We did too. So Beth and I and Nate was actually in the room watching. I swear for a minute and a half straight, all of us we were just saying wow. That's the only words that were coming out of our mouths was wow. Like, there's videos of, I saw the video of a Chicago fans, a bunch of Chicago fans, where they're up and they got the touchdown. Then it was, and I hear this, you know, it was from the SpongeBob SquarePants. 27 seconds later. And I know you guys, if you know SpongeBob SquarePants, you know that's how 5 seconds later, you know, that's what happens. So that's what it said, 27 seconds later. And there's guys holding their heads. A guy's literally passed out on the floor. It's the funniest friggin' is. What's a banner? Okay, a banner is what I go by. Okay, so this is a banner. I'll show you. This right here, what you see, the rest of NFL Week 8 is a banner I write to talk for me to talk about what I'm talking about. It's a topic banner, basically. That's all it is. So I write, and that's how I base it off. If you saw my, you see what I'm looking at. It's obviously a little different than what's behind me. What I'm looking at is two screens. One, where I'm right here, and then I have another screen here where I'm working off of what I'm working off of. That's all I'm doing. So anyway, so it was absolutely the best catch ever. So I have only a little bit to talk about on this one. I forgot that there's a tight ends day. Apparently they now do it week 8. This was apparently the biggest tight ends day. It's like they prefaced to throw to their tight ends on tight ends day. And this is the weird part, and this would really tick me off if I had drafted Travis Kelce first or second round because of who he is and what he's done. And his first touchdown was this weekend. I would have been so unnerved. Thankfully, I have some other tight end who did score a touchdown this weekend, so I was good. I'm just so done with these stupid little things. Now that they've got the best that they've ever done, maybe it was 177 catches in 16 games. So that's 10 catches per game by a tight end, roughly. So we did have this too. The first ever identical twin swap by an Eagles and Browns player. So Beth actually showed me this. I don't know if I can find it now. It is what it is. But I don't know the players specifically, but that actually happened. You know what? I have Google up. Yeah, we do. Okay, let's do. Let me hide this for a second. I'm going to copy and paste. Copy. Search. Okay, save. And back. There we go. Here we go. Or as Dak Prescott would say, here we go. So anyway. Little twin trade jerseys after Eagles game 1 day ago. Here we go. I'll get you their names. So the last name is Brown. So Sunday's game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Philadelphia Eagles marked a milestone moment for two brothers who faced each other for the first time. Bengals running back Chase Brown and Eagles safety Sidney Brown are identical twins in the NFL for the first time at 24 years old. After the two teams squared off on the field, Chase and Sidney capped off the special day by trading jerseys on the field. That was pretty cool. Wow. At the end, it was Sydney's Eagles who came out victorious, with quarterback Jalen Hurts accounting for 3 rushing touchdowns. Yeah, I forgot to talk about that. Philly, Jalen, start giving Saquon the ball. That's what you pay him for. You don't need to be running all these. So good for the Brown brothers to be doing this. That's pretty cool. 6 more comments. Wow. We're just going nuts here. So Start Today's got to grab food. Yeah, of course you'll be back by like the Terminator. Laura's bouncing. Nice chatting with you, Laura. Laura, by the way, you can text me anytime. You got my number. Anyway, oh, of course you're going to White Castle. I need peace, Laura. I need a drink. Okay, you all are talking. Anyway, sorry, Bucking Blue. I will get back to. Okay, this is what I was going to do next. My pick 6 for next week. So everybody who knows what I did, went 4 out of 6 for my pick 6. I went 14-2 in my regular picks. I went 14-2. I don't think I've ever done 14-2. That's pretty damn good. Comment. I figured you. Not worried that you'll be back. There we go. So my picks for this week. Take a look. I'll say them in a minute. Washington at the Giants. We lose again. Giants will probably not get more than 10 points unless you put in Drew Lock. I'm telling you, not with that defense. 31 with how bad Houston is, and I talked about it before, and I'll say it again. Houston did not look good beating Indianapolis. The Jets should beat Houston. We'll see. If they get their kicker figured out, if it's Berline or somebody else, they got enough. They got Breece Hall. I think Breece Hall is pissed enough because he was in his locker just sobbing or something, or who knows what he was doing. Like, the dude was upset. So yeah, I'm picking the Jets because I think that they have enough anger in them now to actually do it. Philly at home against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's good, but I'm not going against Philly again. At least not for now. I think Philly wins this game, 24-13. Dallas loses again. They're in a spiral. I'm telling, like the Giants, they're in a spiral. I just don't think Dallas realizes that they're in a spiral. Atlanta beat Dallas 27-21. Next game, Indianapolis at Minnesota. I think Joe Flacco will do well. I think Minnesota's just that much better. And at home, they're that much better. Minnesota wins 28-17. And lastly, like I said before, don't count Kansas City out. It's a Monday night game. They're going to be happy that they're on Monday night. Kelsey might score 31-24 Tampa. I mean, Kansas City over Tampa. 2 comments. I see what you did there. Start today. See you soon. You to me. I'm going to pick the Jets. Yeah, you know what? The Jets. Something with the Texans, it just doesn't fit right with me. Bucking blue. It really doesn't. That's that. Okay, we're done. Almost done with football. So I want to talk about this. So Dexter Lawrence leads the NFL in sacks. He's the one star on this dismal team. Can the Giants figure it out, please? You got Dexter Lawrence, who's been amazing on this defensive side. The deep bad side. It's the offense who can't figure themselves out. It's the offense who can't run a full game. When you got Singletary and you got Tracy, who were doing great in the first half, but you weren't doing enough. You can't hold the ball long enough. You've had enough time. Get it figured out. My God, you have a fairly easy schedule. You should be able to at least compete with Washington, but you won't if you've shown what you've shown the last 8 weeks. Now, this meme has gone around a while. This is funny. Tua Tagovailoa, and I hope I said memes are abound. So it has Coach Mike McDaniel saying to Tua, you should wear a Guardian cap. The next picture is Tua wearing a Cleveland Guardians cap. I think it's pretty funny. But it goes to a more serious thing that Tua really should be more aware of and more thinking of doing. You've had 4 concussions in 3 years. Put the Guardian cap on. You'll save yourself. Trust me. You want to play. You want to earn your money. That's fine. Wear the Guardian cap. It will help you in the long run. I don't understand how people that are near him are not saying that. So, other news and notes. I'm going to go to NFL.com. Let's see. I don't know if there's anything that's new. There might be a trade. Actually, there was a trade. I saw it on Facebook. Russ Goss put it on Facebook. So did Ray Marsh, who never really watched my, at least that I'm aware of, watched my podcast, but that's fine. So those two, Russ Goss and Ray Marsh, are my I just don't remember who it is. If this would load, it's not loading. It's being very slow. Monday Night Football. I don't care. I want news. It's not giving me news. Show up and vote. There we go. News. Latest. That took a long time. Sorry about that, guys. I usually would have this up, but I wanted to do other things. Here we go. Panthers sending Deontay Johnson to the Ravens in trade. That's the trade. Let's see. Did the comment already come up with that? Oh, I lost you. Is Laura? Does she go on your? No, she's only in the comments. She's never actually come on my podcast. Fucking. Um, There we go. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I don't know what just happened. Um, so news and notes. There we go. Panthers sending wide receiver Deontay Johnson to Ravens in trade. Deontay Johnson's heading back to the AFC North. The Baltimore Ravens are requiring him in a trade with the Carolina Panthers, according to Ian Rappaport and Mark Garofalo. Ravens literally officially announced the trade for Johnson. The trade is a pick swap. Baltimore sending the 2025 fifth-round pick, to Carolina for Johnson and a sixth-round pick. So it's surprisingly cheap price for the Ravens to add a receiving weapon. So Johnson, a former Pittsburgh Steeler, teams up with Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, and Isaiah Likely in a pick-your-poison offense. So this might be interesting now to start watching what Baltimore is doing and maybe possibly picking them in the future. That's interesting. Anything else? Let's see. Any more news? There were two things ahead of this. Latest. Andy Reid expects more from DeAndre Hopkins, so expect more. If you're a fantasy owner, expect more from DeAndre Hopkins. He might want to be a pickup or someone if you have on your bench, you might want to put him on. Vikings acquiring offensive tackle Cam Robinson from Jaguars in exchange for draft pick compensation. So Vikings are getting offensive tackle help. Okay, that's interesting. Here's what I said before. Colts to bench Anthony Richardson. Plan to start Joe Flacco versus the Vikings. Texans Stephon Diggs suffered torn ACL and win. He's to miss the rest of the season. So Stephon Diggs, nice to know you. We'll see you next year. And that's pretty much it for the news for that. All right, my college picks for last week. I did pretty well. Syracuse at Pittsburgh. I had Pittsburgh. They destroyed Syracuse. On Friday, Boise State over UNLV. That was a little closer than expected. USC took out Rutgers. No surprise, Rutgers has got to figure that out. I think they will figure that out going down the road. They're off this week. They do play next week. Saturday, Illinois at Oregon. I'm sorry I gave Illinois 28 points. They only got 9. Penn State at Wisconsin. Penn State they did better than I expected going into this week. They definitely now need to focus on this week, and I'll get to that in a minute. Nebraska, I got losing to Ohio State. Shockingly, Ohio State did not score as many points. So that definitely worked with my thought process of who to pick and what with that game coming up, and you'll know what I'm talking about when I get to it. Okay. Next, I got the win with Texas, beating Vanderbilt. That was really close for Texas. I mean, my God. You were a number 1 team. It's Vanderbilt. I know they're 25, but come on. Miami, in a better game, defeats Florida State. Miami has been in a couple close games. Hurricanes fans will tell you this, that they know this. So they've gotten into their better ways of trying to get that ACC top billing. LSU and Texas A&M. I suspected that would be a close game. That was my loss. Texas A&M took out LSU. I don't know what's going on with LSU. Every loss they get, that's one loss more than they really need. If you know what I mean, and it being in an SEC team. BYU at UCF. BYU is a one of those teams that you're not going to see coming. Hopefully, for their sake, that there is build as good as they are, for their sake. Did I have something else in there? Oh no, I missed one. Sorry. Navy at Notre Dame. I love my Navy because that's my cousin's team. My cousin's a Navy guy. They got ranked. It's a beautiful thing. I just suspected they would lose, and I was correct. Notre Dame destroyed them 51-14. They need the points so they can get number 12 to like a number 8 or number 7 to get a home game. Now, Washington and Indiana. I thought Indiana would win. Got that game. Missouri at Alabama. Did not see that shutout coming. Good for Alabama. Did not see that coming. Kansas and Kansas State. I thought it was a 3-point game. It was a 2-point game, and I got that win. Oklahoma at Ole Miss. Ole Miss won by 12, and I got that game. SMU at Duke. I did not suspect that SMU was actually going to have to go to overtime with Duke. Duke, that shocked me. Duke absolutely shocked me. This one shocked me too. I thought Georgia Tech would take out Virginia Tech. I was completely wrong on that one. Okay, next. Oklahoma State and Baylor. I had Baylor winning. I was right. Northwestern at Iowa. I had a 3-point game. That was a bigger than 3-point game. 40-14. My Lord. Minnesota over Maryland. I had that. This I did not have. I thought Stanford at home would beat the East Coast Wake Forest. Wake Forest proved me wrong. That they could travel to the West Coast and win. They did. Okay, Texas Tech and TCU. I had TCU pretty easily winning this game. That was too close for my bearings. Lost with West Virginia. I thought West Virginia would lose to Arizona. Wow. Another Eastern team beating a Western team. This is getting very interesting. Utah beating Houston. Did not happen, and I was right. Michigan State beating losing to Michigan. No surprise there. I got one more and 3 comments. So I'll get to the comments after I get to my one more. Auburn over Kentucky. I had that. Cincinnati over Colorado. Well, I meant Colorado over Cincinnati. And they're going into their off week. They won their game. Hawaii at midnight, our time, beating Nevada. Hawaii did. I lost this one, and Monmouth is not as good as I thought. Couldn't beat Townsend. They lost 26-14. So I only lost 5 games. Not too bad. So 148 and 51. 74% winning percentage. I think that's pretty damn impressive. So before I go to my Week 10 picks, yes, we're at Week 10 in college football now. Let's see what we got here. Look at that. You're back from the castle. Very nice. Do I interview any athletes? Well, in 60 episodes, you'd think I would, but I haven't. I'm so new to the realm of this. I would love to interview anyone. And honestly, I would also love having people on to banter back and forth. Bucking Blue, if you look at my past episodes, you'll see in the beginning I did have a couple guys here and there. Cameron, why am I forgetting? One of my Amazon buddies, and I can't remember his name. I'll get it. I had a couple guys. I was supposed to actually even go with somebody else. His name was Jay. He couldn't do it, and that it is what it is. He just couldn't. Didn't have the time to do it. So I would love to actually interview athletes. We'll see down the road. Truly, we'll see down the road. really got to get something to drink. I gotta finish this. Uh, anyway, so yeah, athletes. It's probably gonna start with high school. I hate to say it like that, but it's who I know. My nephew goes to Monmouth Regional. My CBA alumna. I'm a CBA alum, so I could probably try to get it here or there depending on what they're doing. They have their own podcast, CBA. So I don't know what they do compared to what I do, but what their viewership is to what my viewership is. Theirs is probably bigger because they have high school kids and hunt into the hundreds, if not thousands, that log on. I only have as the amount of people as I market. So, I can only do so much with that. But, if I meet the right contacts here and there, I'm now friendly with a guy who started a movie or studio in New Jersey. He's part of a big family I grew up with at St. Jerome's, my grammar school. So I know him. I also have contact information. This weekend I was in New York City. I went to a booth and I've talked about this before with Mystery Science Theater 3000. Big fan of it. I met the writer. Let me look at my photos. I'll get his name again. Hold on. Give me a second. It is. I know his last name. It's the first name I kind of lost. Harold. There we go. Harold Buchholz. If you know the name, that's who I met in his booth. Bought a book from him, and he signed a book to me and my stepson. One of his Mystery Science Theater 3000, the comic book. So I have his contact information. I told him, I said, if you ever come to New Jersey, let me know. I know people. I know certain people to do certain things. But to have a venue, I know the Eatontown mayor. If he wants to come to Eatontown, there's places in Eatontown where he can go. And he's out of New York. So, but if you know Mystery Science Theater 3000, I absolutely love that. I even told him a story about my stepson where we were watching a random movie and we were talking about facts about the movie here and there. This is probably a movie I've watched a dozen times and Nate only saw a couple times, but we were going back and forth. And it clicked in my head. I'm like, we're doing Mystery Science Theater 3000. Like, if you watch the show and they would just talk about the movie and do little funny things, funny clips that, weirdly enough, my wife hates. But this is what I grew up watching. So, if you know any athletes bucking blue, like college, professional, and or high school, I can do the research. Research is not an issue. So I can definitely, especially as football starts to wind down, I would love to do little spot interviews here and there where they come on for 20 minutes and talk. That would be great. Can you imagine the viewership for that? Like that's easy to market. So, all right, let's get to my picks for this week. And this time I wrote it down. So I don't. It was last week or the week before I didn't write it down. But this week I did. So I got San Diego State losing to Boise State. No surprise there. Boise State is strong. They want to get in the top 12. Comment. Let's see. Did I answer your question? Really? This is going to be slow now. Comments. Okay, I already talked about who Ricardo is. Not going back to that. I got a lot of show to do, and it's already an hour. So as I was saying, so Boise State, I'd say, is going to beat San Diego State. Biggest game of the week. Ohio State at Penn State. Goes to overtime, I feel, and Penn State will win this game in Happy Valley. Duke at Miami. Miami should blow Duke out. We'll see if Duke can actually get more than 21 points. Ole Miss at Arkansas. Ole Miss should win this SEC battle. Air Force at Army. I'm sorry, Air Force. Army is stronger. They're gonna run all over you guys. You'll score some points, I feel, but I think Army wins overall. Another comment. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Start Today. I appreciate it. Telling. He's actually more than a bowling friend. He's a bowling partner. He's been my partner for many a year. Anyway, Minnesota at Illinois. I got Illinois winning. Northwestern at Purdue. I got Northwestern. Stanford at NC State. NC State should win that game. I think Stanford coming from the West Coast is going to hurt a little. Virginia Tech over Syracuse, although that could flip. So that could be a loss. Vanderbilt should lose to Auburn. Vanderbilt's kind of on a downswing. Oregon, because it's Michigan, I think they'll score. I just think Oregon's that much stronger. Got a few more. Florida will likely show up to Georgia, just not enough. Texas Tech will probably lose by a touchdown to Iowa State. Indiana by 4, I feel, against Michigan State in Michigan State. Kansas State should win in Houston, 31-17. UCLA will most likely lose after them beating Rutgers. Nebraska's pretty strong. They'll win at home, 31-27. North Carolina over Florida, 28-21. Got 2 more. I gotta do something real quick. Sorry. Okay. So we got fantasy. Okay. UCF over Arizona. I got 31-21. I got Navy over Rice. Navy's going to try to get back on the winning side after losing to Army. Or actually, I'm sorry, not losing to Notre Dame. Navy's also got Army down the road. Arizona State loses to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, the Sooners are that. Sooners? Yeah, I think it's the Sooners. They're not much stronger. Or is it the Oklahoma Sooners and Oklahoma State something else? Rabble Rousers, maybe? I don't know. Texas A&M should almost double up on South Carolina. Louisville, in my opinion, won't even really show up to Clemson. They'll get probably 3 touchdowns off of running plays more than likely because the Clemson's defense is pretty good. Wisconsin will probably lose to Iowa. Wisconsin's a tough team, but Iowa's even tougher. The Cornhuskers, they're tough. And USC losing to Washington in a Pac-12 game. Last one. Kentucky at night against Tennessee. Probably won't. Tennessee's a strong offensive line. I think 42 points is just about enough. Pittsburgh, I feel it'll be a close game with SMU. They're both a ranked team. Another big game at night. SMU probably will win this game. It's going to be really tight. That's going to be a game to watch. Baylor at TCU. I think Baylor is going to win that game. Colorado State over Nevada. And again, Monmouth. I wanted to pick them, but Rhode Island is actually ranked in the FCS. Rhode Island is the 14th ranked team in the FCS. So Rhode Island should handle Monmouth pretty easily. That's my 29 games. All right. One comment. He brought him up before he was texting him. Yes, exactly. Bucking Blue, you must have missed that. I was texting him to tell him to stop texting me. So NBA season has started. I'm guessing maybe some of you who are watching are NBA fans. I don't know who you're fans of. I'm a Knicks fan. Big Blue, Big Orange. Once football's over, maybe the Knicks stuff will start coming back out. So, let's see. Games going on right now. Dallas beating Minnesota 74-71 in the third quarter. Denver is losing to Brooklyn 76-74 in the third quarter. And that's all the games going on right now. Let's see. Standings for the moment, and then I'll get to the NBA Cup, which I want to talk about real quick. So, regular season standings. Cleveland Cavaliers are 4-0, and so is Boston. Knicks are in the 8th spot at 1-2. Got one comment, so someone's a fan of somebody. 2-1 Dodgers. What a surprise. So thank you, sir, today. Like I said, I'm not watching. I'm not even paying attention to my phone when it comes to MLB. If we lose, we lose. I talked about it. I suspected 7. If it goes 7 now, it'll be the biggest miracle the MLB has ever seen. because that's bigger than the Red Sox doing it to the Yankees because it is World Series. But we'll talk about that next week if it happens. Yeah, Orlando, Miami, Chicago, Atlanta round out the top 6 for the East. The West is Oklahoma City, Phoenix, LA Lakers, surprisingly at 3-1. I guess the James connection is actually a good thing. Seems to be. Dallas Mavericks 4, Clippers 5, Golden State Warriors 6, and I just heard today that Curry might be out. That's going to be a problem. Timberwolves 7, New Orleans 8. And New Orleans got some players, so watch out for New Orleans. That could be an interesting team. The Utah Jazz are 0-3. Who's the worst? Detroit. Detroit is the worst team in the East. So Detroit and Utah right now, the 2 worst teams with no wins so far between them. Comment. Did you play basketball at all? Oh, recreationally. I never. Let's see. I'm 48 now. I have played in my past. I can shoot. I can play, but I can probably only play people my age or similar. Like I don't think I can follow. Like I know the rules. I can ref. I could probably be a coach. I know how to teach it. But actually playing the sport, I'm past that. All I can do is help people shoot. That's all I can really do. So this NBA Cup still bothers me. And I'll say this, I'll say why. So you have 6 different divisions. West A, West B, West C, East A, East B, East C. Okay? Got 5 different teams in each with their logos are on their courts are changed. As an old-time basketball fan, I grew up as a Knicks fan when Patrick Ewing became a Knick. And I know the story. I'm not going to go into it, but that's when I started watching. I was 10 years old. MSG was a thing we didn't have to pay for. So I'm not big into this changing your courts to make it look pretty or look relevant or look new. And then to be your sponsor is the Aramit's corporation, which I think that they have a plane. It's Arab. Not saying it's a bad thing, but don't you think you might want to do something more American? Just saying. I'm a little biased on that, but as a tournament, my biggest issue is that these players act like it's the NBA championship. The NBA championship is the goal. Winning as many NBA championships is the goal. That's why Michael Jordan is the GOAT. 6 for 6 when he went 6 times to an NBA championship. Now, I know Bill Russell went to 11, and that's an argument for another day. I have no problem putting Bill Russell in any room with Michael Jordan because he was like the grandfather of it. He won 11 championships. I get it. So for anybody who does happen to talk about that, and if anybody, I'm going to tell you right now, argues LeBron as the GOAT, I will shoot you down, and I will have people behind me to shoot you down. And I mean verbally. There is no way in my mind, from what I saw as a Knicks fan from 85 to 86 on, that I can think that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. But that deviates from what I was talking about. Like, this cup is not bigger than the NBA championship. I'm hoping they don't get paid more, because that will make these players think that it's bigger. It should just be an in-season tournament as it's supposed to be. So, let's see. NBA Cup rules and how it works. Let's see if I have to figure this out. And as I wait for that to pull up, I'll see the 2 comments we got here. Ewing, the original Dream Team. Yes, absolutely. I used to play Nintendo Jordan versus Bird. I think Bird is better than LeBron. Well, that's a debate. Oh man. Okay, I'm putting it out there. I have to. I think Bird is better than LeBron. Anybody who wants to debate start today about LeBron being worse or than Bird, please have at it. I'm not. I tend to disagree with you. Start today on that, but I'm willing to listen to the reasons why. At another time, I can actually bring it up. Ooh, give me 4 or 5 weeks. Okay, I'll remember this. Trust me. Once this cup is over and we start just talking about basketball and as a thing over baseball, football, and everything else, we can go into this. And actually, I'd like to see you actually talk about this, but we'll see. Um, so the Emirates NBA Cup rules. Let's see. Summary. No, I'm not going to go into summary. Group play. Okay. Group play. All 30 teams have been randomly drawn into groups of 5 within their conference based on win-loss records from the 2023-2024 regular season, beginning Tuesday, November 12th. So 2 Tuesdays from now. So episode 62. And continuing through Tuesday, December 3rd. So 63, 64, probably 65 or 66. And that's if I don't skip one in between. I might be skipping that. That actually, December 3rd might be a skip. And I'll say why in a minute. Each team will play 4 designated group play games on cup nights. 1 game against each opponent and its group, with 2 games at home and 2 on the road. Knockout rounds. 8 teams will advance to the knockout rounds. The team that with the best standing in the group play in each of the 6 groups and 2 wild cards from the team of each conference with the best record in group play games that finish second in its group. The knockout rounds will consist of single elimination. So they have a way of going about it. This is who the Knicks are with, which I pretty much don't have a problem, and we should beat all of them. The Knicks are with the Magic, the 76ers, the Brooklyn Nets. Almost said something else. And is it Charlotte? It might be Charlotte. Charlotte Hornets. I don't know if it's North Carolina Hornets or whatever they're called now. So the Pacers, so the Celtics are in C. The Celtics are probably going to dominate this. Except the Cavs are in that too. So the Cavs could come out. You got the Bulls, the Hawks, and I think that's the Washington team. Whatever they are, whatever Washington is, not the Bullets. What's Washington? I don't know. So that's what that is. Wow, Bucking Blue thinks Bird is better than LeBron. Good for okay. I don't know how old you two are compared to me. I saw Bird play. I just know LeBron has done more with what he's. Let's put it this way. Why I think I'll deviate here. Why I think LeBron is better than Bird is what LeBron did with Cleveland twice. Once in a losing fashion, once in a winning fashion. The one he lost was, remember, he was in a team on his own. There was no B-level player comparative against whoever they were playing. I think it was like Dallas or something. So, apparently somebody got a home run. Anyway, I keep hearing my wife. So that and when he won with the Cavaliers, like those two series NBA.
Chazz,
What?
Volpe just hit a grand slam.
Who?
Volpe,
Oh, really?
5-2.
Oh, wow. Yankees are winning 5-2. Woo-hoo! Very nice. Anthony Volpe hit a grand slam. I guess he hit a grand slam. We got a comment. Maybe that was the same thing. Definitely free throws. LeBron, he can hit free throws too. So I don't, unless you're talking about Shaq, and Shaq played on the Celtics, the Magic, and everybody in between. He didn't play with LeBron. So if we're gonna go see, I still say LeBron because of those two. Why didn't I get an MLB yet? This is strange. MLB didn't pop up. So that's I'm sure. Like I said, we'll talk more on this down the road. I like that debate. That's a good debate. And I'll get out of this NBA. I think I'm done with the NBA. One more comment. Free throw percentage. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Okay. Save that for down the road, Bucking Blue. That is a very interesting percentage. I didn't know that. That's very interesting, and that's why I put it up, because I want. That's a good one for me to flip if possible. Like I said, there's a lot of other things that make me think that LeBron is better than Bird, but we'll go there for another time. Sorry, today likes you that you're backing him up. Isn't that nice? All right. So next on the list of things I have to talk about, not too many left. Indiana Fever have parted ways with head coach Christy Sides on Sunday from Yahoo Sports. This is the article. So the Indiana Fever have fired head coach Christy Sides after 2 seasons with the team. Sides led the Fever to a 6th place finish in 2024 regular season, earning the team's first playoff appearance in 8 seasons, but the Fever were swept by the Connecticut Sun in the first round. In a statement, the Fever president of basketball operations, Kelly Crosskop, I said that wrong, no, I don't know, Kopf. Why does that happen? Called Sides an incredible representative of the Fever in our community. So then why'd you let her go? 2 comments, let's say. Is it about what I'm talking about? The slider is for you. Oh, gee, okay, that's a virtual slider, dude. That's just not right. Anyway, so in a statement by the president of basketball operations, we are incredibly thankful to Coach Sides for embracing the challenge of leading us through an integral transition period over the last 2 seasons, while positioning us well for future growth. While decisions like these are never easy, it is also imperative that we remain bold and assertive in the pursuit of our goals, which includes maximizing our talent and bringing another WNBA championship back to Indiana, which I'm guessing there was one prior. I did not know that. Oh, there's MLB. Let's see. MLB. Let's see what happens. Come on. You guys are late because Beth already told me. We're not doing that. No. There we go. Yankees 5-2. Okay. Good job, Yankees. All right. So my issue here, why are we letting her go when she's the one helping to bring these girls together? Unless she wanted out. And then I get it. I don't understand. And then Indiana Fever put it on Twitter or X. And then Christine Sides, interesting comment that she put on the 27th. Leave it better than you found. So that got me thinking maybe she wanted to leave. And if that's true, then that's fine. But why do you let somebody go who's helped you to get to where you were? I don't know. Maybe they think they want to bring in the Iowa coach who coached Caitlin Clark. Who knows? Anyway, so that's my take on that. It was a little weird that happened. Okay. All right. So WWE, real quick. Crown Jewel is this Saturday, 1 p.m., exclusively on Peacock. Halloween Havoc was this week. I'll go over Crown Jewel real quick, and then I'll see what happened on Halloween Havoc. So we got 4 matches from the looks of it. Crown Jewel, Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the first ever Crown Jewel champion for the men. For the women, WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax versus World Heavyweight Champion, there's no heavyweight. Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. My takes on both of those, I feel Cody Rhodes and Nia Jax wins that. We'll see what happens on that. Seth freaking Rollins collides with Big Bronson Reed. Yeah. That's going to be interesting. That I suspect Bronson wins that, but I wouldn't be surprised if Seth Rollins wins that too. This is the one I've been waiting for. Now it's happening in Crown Jewel. Probably will continue into um, Survivor Series. So Survivor Series will be at the end of November as usual. That's one of the bigger ones near the end up until Royal Rumble. And that's like Survivor Series charges into Royal Rumble in January. It's a big thing with wrestling. I've loved it. I've talked about it. You've seen it on my past episodes. This one, Roman Reigns and the Usos versus the bloodline of Jacob Fatu. Why am I forgetting? I'm forgetting the one who's in charge now, and the Tomatonga brothers, whatever they are. So 6-man tag, which means one of those guys are not gonna be wrestling. That's gonna happen. There's going to be a fatal 4-way. Also, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair are set to defend their title in a fatal 4-way. Let's see if it gives me the people in it, because I see the people, I just don't know who the people are. Okay. So it's Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair as the champs versus Kairi Sane and Io Sky of okay, is it going to tell me? Damage Control, thank you. Forgot. Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, they're new. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. They've had it for a while, so I don't know who to pick here, honestly. I want to say Cargill and Belair retain. I would hope, but not necessarily that's going to happen. All right, let's go back. Let's see. So let's go to this bloodline one real quick as well. So it is the OTC. Roman Reigns will reunite with his old partners Jimmy and Jay Uso to take on the new look bloodline. Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, and Jacob Fatu. One of those, 3 of those 4 will be wrestling in this match. And then apparently, yeah, Tonga and Loa had actually lost the heavyweight, the tag team titles to new guys, Motor City Machine Guns. I think they were from not TNA, NXT. So that was interesting. I think that was they wanted that to happen so they could more focus on this bloodline thing that they wanted to do. Let's see. Let's go to shows real quick. I want to talk about this Halloween Havoc. While I'm waiting for Halloween Havoc, comment. Leave it better than you found it, Christy Sides. Yep. You know what? I get it, but like I said, if she wanted out, then I get it. But if she didn't, that's a problem. So, Halloween Havoc. Trick Williams retains the NXT title against Ethan Page in Devil's Playground match. Zarya lays out Fallon Henley at Fatal Influence. D'Angelo versus Femi tables, ladders, and scares. Julia and Bakar versus Perez and Jade. A lot of us don't know if we're not watching NXT while we're watching me. There's a lot of stuff to watch on Tuesday nights, especially with baseball still on. And now the Yankees are winning. So 2 outs. Let's see. Top of the 4th, 2 outs. Runner on first. The Yankees are still leading 5-2. Yay. Let's see. Comment. Am I dressing up for Halloween? Actually, I am. And I will have a picture of it. What's funny, and I haven't even told Beth yet because I bought it. It got sent to me today. So at work, we're doing a Halloween contest. And I'm part of the committee that's running this contest. Okay, I'm actually the only man with a bunch of women in this committee. I have different ideas for different views, being the man in this committee. Anyway, so as a spoof, since I said I'd be a judge for this because there's 2 things to judge, guess what I ordered? A judge's outfit. So I'm going to be wear a judge's outfit. I'm going to bring a white shirt and a tie, and that's what I'm going to wear. So I just got to find a gavel. I'm going to see if I can find one tomorrow before I come home. I got to look at it online, maybe on my phone. I'll order it. And the hair, if I can get like the white hair, the old white hair. So that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be a judge. So maybe I'll wear it home and I'll be a judge. And do you get candy? I'll be the judge of that. That's cool. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's cool. So, and my coworker who I talked to, and I told him about it, he lives in New York. He lives actually by Yankee Stadium. He said you could probably wear that to Yankee Stadium if you ever come up and you go in the judges corner. You could wear that. That'd be pretty cool. I said, yeah, that is a pretty good idea if I can get it done. We'll see. Another comment. I'll consider that start today. Let me show everybody what he said. I should do a show in the judge's outfit. I'll consider that. You're only going to see the top anyway. I didn't show everybody what I'm wearing today. See, I'm promoting myself. So, yeah, I mean that's not a bad idea. It really isn't. Yeah. So this Chase U. I don't know if you guys heard of Chase U. This guy's a weird dude, but I don't know if he's a good guy or bad guy now. But it looks like he might have won his match. These girls can do a lot of things. Jordan Defense Championship against Fatal Influence. This girl is doing a backflip handstand to pin somebody. That's insane. I've never seen this, and I don't know. Who knows if she actually accomplished it? But all right, so that's that. One more thing before birthdays, and this just happened today. Terry Garr, or is her middle name Terry Ann Garr, passed away today. A retired American actress with over 140 credits in film and television. She has appeared in comedic roles for 4 decades. So she had multiple sclerosis, and I mean she's apparently had this for a while. A beautiful woman from back in the 80s and 90s. It says here from Deadline, David Letterman, Michael Keaton among Hollywood stars remembering comedy legend. This is a day I feared. So one of those two, probably Michael Keaton, actually said that. It was one of David Letterman's. She was one of David Letterman's favorite guests. Remember, she was. If you're as old as me, or you know the movie Mr. Mom, and I say movie because it was a movie back in 1983, if I remember correctly. I was very young when I saw it. It's called Mr. Mom, and Terry Garr was the working mother, where Michael Keaton was the father of like 3 kids, and it's a comedy that's set for that era, that is funny for that era. She was a star of it, and a beautiful woman back in the day. Unfortunately, she developed multiple sclerosis. Let's see, what else was she in? She was in Batman, That Girl, Friends, variety shows like Shindig, the Sonny and Cher comedy show. So I'm going back in the day. This is way back in the day. Talk shows, she did them all, but her classic appearances were with David Letterman. Some of the funniest movies that she ever made: Young Frankenstein. That's how far she goes back. Young Frankenstein and Tootsie. And even occasional drama like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I haven't seen that movie in forever. And The Conversation, which I've never seen, is being remembered by co-stars and colleagues today for the light she was. Michael Keaton, the Mr. Mom star, also wrote on Instagram, "This is a day I feared and knew was coming. Forget about how great she was as an actress and comedian. She was a wonderful woman, not just great to work with, but great to be around. And go back and watch her comedic work. Man, she was great. R.I.P. girl." Wow, that's touching. That really is. In a brief post, Letterman wrote, "Remembering one of our all-time favorite guests," accompanied by a clip of the talk show host introducing Gar while giving her a standing ovation. There are just other people. Mickey Dolenz, when she was this with the Monkees? She might have been on the Monkees, the TV show. If you don't know the Monkees, look up like Nick at Night. It was a spoof of the Beatles, but they were supposed to be an American spoof. But one of the guys was actually British. So that was that. She was apparently on that show. Like I said, pretty girl, beautiful woman. Unfortunately, we lost her. So we lost her today, and she will be missed. Okay, there's my Gmail. Okay, one thing left, guys. I see both my guys are on. Hey. Yes, you are old enough to know that. Birthdays of the week. Guess what? I got none from yesterday. But if everybody remembers what October 28th was, 12 years ago in New Jersey, Hurricane Sandy hit. The hurricane that made a left turn into New Jersey. What are you not supposed to do in New Jersey? Make a left turn. It did. But, and maybe one of these days, I'll talk about that down the road. I lived in where did I live? Union Beach. There's a lot to talk about with that. This is my favorite. Yeah, people you don't know saying happy birthday to. All right, birthdays today. My buddy Kyle Lyons from my Neptune days back at Shore Lanes. 47 years old. Happy birthday. Rona, my friend from Acme, long time ago at the Freehold Acme. 61. Happy birthday. Got a lot more for tomorrow and Friday and into the weekend. Here we go. And Laura's going to miss this. And it sucks that she's going to miss this. So tomorrow, Robert Urban, 46 years old. I've known Robert for a long time. He's in Texas now. But he was a Monmouth Regional kid. I was actually married his ex-girlfriend. My first wife. Anyway, so that's how I know Robert. I got a story, guys. I really do got a story. I'm trying to do birthdays and you're commenting here. Come on. Union Ave, Park Ave, Route 36. I lived on Florence. That's where I lived. Devin Span. He's a bowler, but I met him first at a friend's party. Not a friend's party, but my wife's friend's party, where he's the nephew to this woman. So Devin, 28 years old, dude. He acts like he's older. He acts like he's more mature. So 28 years old. Happy birthday on Wednesday, tomorrow. Nick Gill, Acme, my many Acme friends. 26 years old. Happy birthday. Alberta Pfeiffer, one of my oldest friends. Bowler from back in the day at Strathmore. I was in the league I subbed in, and we won the league. She was in, and great woman, absolutely great woman. Bowled at the time. She was in her, I want to say mid to early 70s, and she was bowling with a 90-something-year-old woman who would roll the ball at like 6 or 7 miles an hour and still maintained a 105 average. Go figure. Like that. That's how I remember Alberta. 85 years old. She's still kicking too, from what I understand. Chrissy Lee. I don't remember her age, and she doesn't post it on Facebook, and that's fine. One of the more popular women in the bowling realm. Okay, she is the USBC president, national president. She's in Tampa. And she used to be in Monmouth County. She was a Monmouth County president. She's now working with the national USBC. She got elected. So she's up there, and it's her birthday on Wednesday. Like I said, lots of birthdays on Wednesdays. On this Wednesday coming up on the 30th. So happy birthday, Chrissy. And it seems like her birthday wish, I saw on Facebook, her birthday wish was for the Yankees to at least get this to 5 games, and it might happen. And then Kathy Almo Dovar. Kathy is the mother of my ex-fiance, my first ex-fiance. The first one, I dated a girl, now woman, named Jennifer, and Kathy was her mother. So she's 68 on Wednesday. Happy birthday, Kathy. She's in Florida too. A lot of people from New Jersey went to Florida. Now I'm not seeing why, but it is what it is. Thursday on Halloween, I got 2 birthdays. 2 birthdays on Halloween. Terry Smith, happy birthday. I worked with him at, I want to say Amazon. It was either Amazon or UPS, one of the two. Happy birthday, Terry. And then Christopher Zaro, I've known a very long time. Eatontown friend from back in the day, and he went to CBA. He was a year ahead of me. His brother was a year behind, and he, if I remember correctly, he was at CBA too. So happy birthday, Chris! 49 years old on Halloween. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we got Friday. Dottie Wright, one of my bosses, I'm still friends with from UPS. She's not at UPS anymore. I think she moved on to a different warehouse. Dottie is 63. Trisha Tagliente. That name, boys, you might know who that, or you should know who that would be. That is Laura's sister. Laura's sister is 49, I think, at least according to her Facebook page. Laura's 40 is 48, so I guess there is a 1 year difference. I thought it was 2. My apologies if I was wrong this entire time. Steve Fasulo, one of the guys who have been on my podcast. Steve, I want to say episode, I don't know, 6 or 7 that he was on. So, and we bantered back and forth. He was on his phone in the bathroom. That was fun. I'll go to Saturday in a minute. We got a comment. Yes, it's her sister's birthday is on Friday. 49 is a question mark because I don't know, and I need Trish on to tell me, or Laura on to tell me. Will Smith hit a home run. It's now 5-3 Yankees. Okay. On Saturday, Boley Oliver Reyes. We call him Boley at work. It's his birthday on Saturday. He's a Mets fan. I bust on him every day. He busts on me every day. And Eric Karsh. He's a news guy on. We was a news guy on 101.5. Happy birthday to Eric Karsh. Sunday, I've never met this man, but he's been in my football pool from Kerry. So I know him through there and through other people who have talked to me about this man. And I met him once at a Mets game when we all went to a Mets game. And I did meet Mr. Richard Stewart. Richard Stewart, your happy birthday on Sunday. 74 years old. Happy birthday. Mark Wallishin, a long-time Eatontown legend, fireman. And he's still in Eatontown, still kicking it at 67 years old. Danielle DeWood. That's what her name is now. She is a Mandika. If you know any of the Mandikas, Kitty and John had 12 Mandika children. Danielle is one of the latter of the 12. Danielle is 37 on Sunday. Happy birthday, Danielle. And lastly, but not least, Mr. J. Newman, who I was supposed to be working with, I mentioned before. He was supposed to be part of this process of what became Chazz Says Anything. Because it wasn't Chazz Says Anything in the beginning. And you can look that up if you guys want. It's episode 1, 2, and 3. So, Jay Newman, the DJ, DJ, happy birthday. 43 years old on Sunday. And like I've said before, now I got 3 people on comments. Let's see, we got a comment. I know Mindy Mandika. If you're spelling the name, you're spelling the name wrong. If that's how she spells her name, Mindy Mandika, that's not the correct Mandika. So it's got to be an Eatontown Mandika. You spell the name right, I'll confirm it, but that's not the right spelling. Let me take the ticker off. Wild family. Okay, well, there's no Mindy in the family that I'm aware of. And that Mandika name, how you spelt it is incorrect for what I know. Because I still in contact with a couple of them, including Joseph Mandika, who is in Colts Neck. Oh, hold on, I gotta adjust these. Who's in Colts Neck, and I mentioned before he has a production company he opened up. I don't know how to spell it. Are they from Eatontown? Yes or no? That's what I need to know, because I don't know a Mindy Mandika from Eatontown. Are they from Eatontown? You know where Eatontown is. I assume you do, since you know where Carteret is. Start today. You gotta work with me here, bro. You gotta work with me. I'm at the end. Hour 39. I gotta get done. Okay. Well, like I said before, if anyone wants to join the conversation, and I don't mean on the comments, I mean on video, email me at chazzroyalty@gmail.com. I can get you on. I can send you the link. We can talk about whatever you want as long as it's semi-relevant. Sayreville. Yep. Not okay. Definitely not. But maybe okay. That's two different towns, two different counties. Yeah, Sayreville is north. Eatontown is south. So, anyway. So next week, episode 61 will be November 5th. I will do an election day show. I'll have enough content to do it. I should have enough time to get it together. Like I said before, I think December 3rd, I won't be on, and I'll mention why now. My wife is having surgery the next day. So I am going to be more focused on that than anything else. I might come back the next week after her surgery. So we'll see. So I might skip a week on that just because of that. And we'll deal with that. I'll mention it down the road. I'll let you know. Do they all live in Eatontown? Well, not anymore. If Kitty Mandika, the mother, is my mother's age, I want to say around 70. She should be between 40 and 46. Okay, there's an Amanda Mandika, not a Mindy Mandika. And she would be around 46. Now, I know how I know Amanda. I've known Amanda for a very long time. She was a grade under me. She's 46 or 47. 48. So yeah, she was I thought when I was in grade 8, she was in grade 7. Her brother had just graduated. I know Michael and Amanda. Those were the two that were above and below me. I also know John, who was the oldest. I know Danielle and Stephanie, and there's another one. Amanda, Stephanie, and there's another Mandika 2 years younger than Amanda. I'm trying. Oh, wow. How did I forget him? I forgot the Mandika that was 2 years younger. It's been a long time. But like I said, it's election day. Make sure you all go out and vote. The 2 people that are watching and everybody else who does watch down the road. Make sure you vote your conscience. I don't care if it's red or blue. Just vote your conscience. Make sure you get your vote in. I know what my conscience says. I don't care about any other buddy's conscience. Okay? You do what you got to do for you. I know what I got to do for me. So, and I'll leave it at that. You get back to me if it's Amanda Mandika and if you know her and how you know her, because I know how I know her. Okay? And that's it for today. Another comment. I'm about to leave, bro. Vote start today. That's right. You got to vote. So, like I said, I'm doing my PSA right there. All right, so that's it for today. I will see everybody next week. Hopefully the Yankees will come back, but highly doubt it. It's 5-3 going into the bottom of the third. That's it, folks. I'm out. Have a good night. I'll see you next week.